Peace. I'm your brother Crumb, and you are now watching Crumb TV.
Brother Red Pill representing Know the Ledge, one half of the Twin Pillars. I am here rocking with Crumb TV.
And you are watching Crumb TV.
You can find me on Crumb TV.
You can catch me on Crumb TV.
This is Chief Kalanago here on Crumb TV.
I am Joy Allen of the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty in the Crumb TV studio.
Honored to be on your program, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
Crumb TV.
Damn, I thought I brought a brother on. Hold on, family. Technical difficulty. I was hoping the minister would have been on.
Peace. Peace and love, man. What's going on?
Peace and love, good brother. How are you?
All is well. Can you hear me okay? Turn my Wi-Fi on.
Yeah, you sound good. My audio is janky as well. Please forgive me.
Peace and light.
Peace and love. Brother, I wanted to, I'm so glad you came. I wanted to talk about the whole Jamie Foxx conspiracy theory thing. There's a lot going on with it. But I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse. Let's start things off respectfully. And if you could you tell the family who you are and where we come you at?
For sure, this case has been under a rock. It's okay. I'm M.O.I. Minister of Information. Been rocking with Crumb TV since prehistoric, man. You know what I'm saying? So I've been around. Instagram informing, YouTube, the Minister informing. Yeah. And we in here, baby. So get your pen and your pad. Pen and pad gang, man. Tap in. Pen and pad gang. Take notes. You all know what it is. Don't believe a word we say. We're not here to convince or persuade anybody. As Dr. Booker T. Coleman once said, this is information. You got to do your own research. All right? This is for education purposes only. Sure.
100%. I also wanted to say, family, wherever you're watching us from, it doesn't matter. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, tap all the way in. If I could I just acknowledge the people before we get started, or you want to jump right in?
Your audio kind of low.
I wanted to acknowledge the family, or do you think we should just jump right in?
No, go ahead. Get some shout out because let me see a lot of them.
Well, can you hear me fine? Am I okay? Audio?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I wanted to acknowledge the first responders, but we have a little bit more than 50 first responders. So for the sake of time, we'll just do the first three. We call that the perfect trifecta. Bruce Lee Wynn is in the building. Bruce Lee said, I see you. I love you. I appreciate you. I got a measure on. I'm sorry.
You good, bro? Continue.
Intep Robinson, she says, Shalom, Crumb. Shalom, ministering. I think that's minister, but I charge it to your mind, not your heart. We see you, we love you, appreciate you. Number 3 in the building of the perfect trifecta, Music Land HQ82. He says peace with the caps on Ashe. Y'all gotta pay attention to this stuff, family. He says peace and love. We saying peace and love back. We see you, we love you, appreciate you. Family, real quick before we jump into this, if you are a disciple, you should already have your pen and paper, your pad on hand. If you're a disciple of the minister, you should already have your pen and paper on hand. So just tap in. With that said, brother, anything before we get started?
Nah, let's jump right in it, bro.
I say the same thing. All right, so Ice Cube has had a lot to say, and I want to give him a listen. So here we go.
Ice Cube has been on a roll lately, exposing the powers that be in Hollywood, and he allegedly believes that the Hollywood gatekeepers tried to eliminate Jamie Foxx.
What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are.
So, in case you missed it, Jamie Foxx recently made his first public appearance almost 3 months after he was hospitalized for a mysterious medical condition. Jamie appeared in a short video waving to fans from a boat. However, a lot of people on social media still think there's something strange about this clip, and they're speculating the footage was recorded before Jamie's hospitalization, or this is Jamie's body double in the video.
It's our birthday!
Meanwhile, Ice Cube recently started exposing the secret industry club, and he also revealed that he lost millions of dollars after refusing to take the COVID vaccine. And this comes just weeks after another Hollywood insider claimed that Jamie was left paralyzed and blind after being pressured into taking the shot. So what's really going on here? Who are these gatekeepers that Ice Cube is talking about, and did they really try to take out Jamie? Let's break it down.
When I say work with us, is to stop working against us. Stop doing that bullshit behind the scenes that we know you're doing.
Almost 3 months since he was hospitalized due to serious medical complications, Jamie Foxx was spotted in public in a short video shared by TMZ on Sunday, July 9th.
It's our birthday!
According to TMZ, they obtained this footage from a fan who spotted Jamie cruising on the Chicago River on Sunday afternoon. TMZ also claimed they have more footage of Jamie spending a night out on the town in the Chicago area on Saturday and getting active on his feet. However, it's not clear why they haven't released this footage. As you probably know by now, Jamie was hospitalized in Atlanta back in April after suffering some serious medical complications and was later transferred to a rehabilitation facility in Chicago. However, since Jamie's family issued several contradictory reports over the past couple of months, and Jamie hasn't been seen in any photos or videos until the new TMZ footage was released, this sparked numerous conspiracy theories about what led to his hospitalization. And according to the most viral theory, Jamie suffered a stroke after taking the COVID shot. Last month, journalist AJ Benza claimed that a blood clot left Jamie partially paralyzed and blind. And while Jamie's rep dismissed these claims, the conversation surrounding the COVID shot was recently reignited after rapper Ice Cube shared a video exposing the gatekeepers in Hollywood who tried to pressure him into taking the vaccine. On June 25th, Ice posted a video on Twitter expressing his frustration with the NBA, mainstream media, and the entertainment industry, and he claimed that the gatekeepers in the industry tried to sabotage him because he's not part of their club.
What I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with.
And while Cube didn't specify exactly who belongs to this club and what their purpose is, many fans said they know exactly what he's talking about. Cube also went on to say that ever since he founded his 3-on-3 basketball league, the Big Three, the NBA and mainstream media have been trying to sabotage his business.
A lot of people might say, like, well, but Cube, you want to work with the NBA. Really, I don't give a about working with the NBA. What I want them to do, when I say work with us, is to stop working against us. Stop doing that bullshit behind the scenes that we know you're doing. Mainstream media, you know, they ain't with us.
Cube then revealed his plan to expose all the gatekeepers in the industry and said he'll go on a podcast tour to get his message across to the people.
What I'm going to do is go on a The Gatekeepers podcast tour. And I'm going to go talk to everybody.
And Cube wasn't lying, because over the past few weeks, he appeared on several podcasts. And one of the things he's exposing is the alleged agenda surrounding the COVID vaccine. During his recent appearance on Logan Paul's podcast, Cube claimed that he's not anti-vax. However, when it comes to the COVID shot, he feels uncomfortable with the way people were pressured and blackmailed into taking it.
I'm not anti-vaccine. I've been vaccinated before, many times throughout my life. It's an individual choice. It sucks that people were pushed out of their jobs, canceled, family members not associating with their own family because of this.
By the way, this isn't the first time Cube spoke out against the COVID vaccine. Back in November 2022, he revealed that he turned down a $9 million movie role because he refused to take the shot.
And fuck y'all for trying to make me get it. So, I don't know how Hollywood feel about me right now, you know what I'm saying?
As part of his ongoing anti-gatekeepers tour, Cube recently appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he talked about being pressured to take the shot for a movie role.
Producers talking to my people, and they're like, if he don't take it, he can't be in the movie. It's like, he's not taking it. It's like, okay, can't do the movie.
However, the crazy part is that, according to Cube, he didn't tell anyone what happened or why he abandoned the role. And yet someone leaked the news that he refused to take the vaccine.
Where you're not supposed to reveal a person's medical status. And here it is, they printing mine.
Cube explained that the Hollywood gatekeepers tried to paint him as ignorant for turning down a $9 million role, and they continued to put pressure on him through his team. Joe Rogan then said that since people can't sue the vaccine manufacturers, they'll most likely start suing the businesses and their employers who pressured them into taking the shot. And fans are now speculating that maybe Jamie Foxx was planning to do exactly this. See, Jamie was hospitalized while filming Back in Action with Cameron Diaz, and AJ Benza previously claimed that the studio pressured Jamie into taking the shot.
I had somebody in the room who let me know that Jamie had a blood clot in his brain after he got the shot. He did not want the shot, but the movie he was on, he was pressured to get it.
Now, whether Jamie was really planning to sue the studio for forcing him to take the vaccine, it's not exactly clear. However, it's interesting that shortly before he was hospitalized, several outlets reported that he had a meltdown on the set of Back in Action. But as Ice Cube explained, we'll probably never know exactly what happened because the gatekeepers are going to make sure no one speaks out on this.
Nobody wants to talk about it. That's the crazy thing, because all the news
Nobody
stories,
can.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, the gatekeepers. Nobody can talk about it because somebody above them told them no.
Many fans are now speculating that these same gatekeepers may have tried to eliminate Jamie so he wouldn't speak out on being pressured to join their club. Once you're in, one fan said. Nobody gets out alive. If Jamie got in, he's done some pretty bad stuff. Respect to Cube for telling them to F themselves. That's a man of strong character. And another fan commented, if I was Jamie Foxx, I would have just said, F my career, I have enough money. There's no point in trying to make money if it's going to kill you or force you to compromise your morals or values or health. Money's not worth it if you can't take it to the graveyard. People learn this lesson. As for the newly released video of Jamie on the boat, many fans are saying it's strange how Jamie seems well enough to cruise on a river, but he can't record a simple video to let his fans know he's okay. One fan commented on the TMZ video, why won't Jamie just do a 5-second live to the fans? And another person added, not sure if this is a body double, but it's odd that he's far into the distance on a boat, moving swiftly with sunglasses. Until I see him walking, talking, and giving an interview, I won't buy what they're trying to sell me. But let's hear your thoughts on this. Do you think there's something suspicious about this new video of Jamie?
I don't know, bro. That was a lot. So first, let me just jump feet first and say that we have to understand that the good brother Ice Cube is one of the original NWAs. He is the original. He is the original N-word with the attitude that first brought you F the police. Way before there was a killing of young kids, how we saw during the Obama administration, they already had said F the boys in blue early. This was the attitude of Ice Cube because this was the beginning of what they later called gangster rap or gangster music, right? Meaning that Ice Cube and the boys were portraying a lifestyle of thuggery, vandalism, hoodlums, criminals, murderers, the bad guys. They emulated that. That's where Ice Cube comes from. You have to also understand the ones who hands are at play in Hollywood, and we know that those belong to the unchosen people. I won't say the name, but you know what I'm talking about. The unchosen ones who were the first barons of Europe. They were the Lombards. They call them Lombards. The Baristans. And these Baristans always had a way of working in finance, some type of way. Trade, commerce, acquisition, possession of something. This is their history. So when you see a pawn shop with 3 Baron balls on it, it represents those people and their trade at heart. Tradesmen. So we have to remember who's at play. Who is the they that the Cube is alluding to? We can say Diddy and all the other, weird ones, or the R. Kellys and the Diddies. They'll show you Diddy, R. Kelly in the media all day with allusion to homosexuality. They will clickbait you with that all day, but they're not showing you these white boys doing the weird stuff for real. Where are these goddamn kids going? Let's talk about all these children they're finding or missing. Like, you can't keep ignoring it. So while they can parade ideas of Diddy and Jamie Foxx of a homosexual nature, I think it's something deeper than that. I think it's the fact that when you don't play by the rules of the ones in charge out there in Hollywood, they do weird stuff to you. Remember Cat Williams? Cat Williams in his stand-up told us a long time ago that his first encounter at these mansion parties, he called it, he said Professor Ogilvy. That's the guy from the Parkers. He said, is that Professor Ogilvy in a room with a man? So he was telling us then that they had these Hollywood parties where there's some male to male encounterment. And then we can also trace it back again through Diddy and Jamie, dealing with Diddy and Usher, Justin Bieber. We can go through the whole ordeal when it comes to that. But I want you to understand about Cube. Cube had put together a proposal for Bernie Sanders. Let's go back to that for a second. Let's just tell the people about the political side of Cube in the last 6-7 years, really longer than that. Like publicly political side of Ice Cube, who's actually rallying an agenda for the progression of so-called African Americans in North America. Nobody's put together an agenda, not the NAACP, which you all should be ashamed, Pan-Africans and everybody, to allow this organization to continue to be called itself the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. That is so disrespectful in 2023. They need to rebrand their name, change it to something. Progression of African Americans, so that colored people don't sound good to more. It's offensive, is what I'm saying. But none of these organizations put together an agenda the way Ice Cube put an agenda together, something to move on. He was actually with Bernie Sanders at one point in time in front of the nation, putting together a plan. It was for reparations. And Cube put together a plan. Nobody backed him up. Oprah didn't tap in with him. Tyler Perry didn't tap in with him. None of the big moguls tapped in with him. Whether it's not, maybe it's not their agenda. Maybe they don't give a fuck. I don't know what it is, but Dr. Claude Anderson said the aggregation of our resources is what's going to bring us to the forefront. And when you see a guy like Ice Cube out here on the political forefront, given his credentialing of being a dope producer, rapper, manager, actor, director, producer, that's Cube. Like, Cube is the same one that gave you F the Police and then turn around and give you Friday and Next Friday and Friday After Next, which are all now classics. Every black household, they're classic movies. Friday through the next Friday is in your classic. I guarantee you. And then by default, you may see them in another couple movies with Mike Epps because they kept acting together. But that's Ice Cube. But none of these black organizations got behind him in his political agenda. So I just wanted to set forth the contents of seriousness when we're having this discussion. about these brothers. I yield the floor.
I wanted to point out that I'm not saying this is true.
Your volume kind of low, bro.
Tried to start the big three, and it's like Diet NBA or the alternative to the NBA or whatever.
Probably. It's just low. It's low.
Oh, you can still hear me. Okay, cool. Yeah, I wanted to point out that your boy tried to start the big three, which is alternative to the NBA. And the NBA, I don't know if it was in a contract or they just kind of changed it, but they said anybody who has ever played for the NBA is not allowed to go play over there. I think the only person who was able to break that contract was Allen Iverson, I guess. He's part of the big three, but anybody who shot their shot at the damn, the family saying my shit super low. Okay, sounding very low, Crumb. Much love. No, it's a lot of people saying.
Yeah, it's just kind of low. That's all.
Anyway, with that said, I think the minister did a really good job with synopsizing it. I think a lot of this does have to do with the jab, but the minister said there's more to it, and he's all wise, right, and exact. There is more to it. Minister, shall we connect the dots with Cat Williams now that we've heard from Ice Cube?
I'm sorry, say again.
All right, here we go.
Can you hear me?
If he likes men, then that's his business, and I think he should be able to do that.
Reports recently appeared that Jamie Foxx is allegedly being blackmailed over his sexuality by Hollywood higher-ups, and fans are now pointing out that Cat Williams already exposed Jamie for having an affair with his label artist, Mark Anthony. There's been a lot of speculation online about Jamie's recent hospitalization, especially after Jamie recently claimed he was betrayed by someone close to him while he was in the hospital. Meanwhile, Jamie also started making headlines because of his sexuality, with fans hitting the search engines to find out if Cat Williams was right when he claimed years ago that Jamie was gay. So what exactly did Cat say about Jamie's sexuality? Did Jamie really have an affair with Mark Anthony? Let's break it down.
The more men with men means the more women without men, which makes a better society for me. I'd like to thank you, gay men.
Jamie Foxx may be out of the hospital, but that doesn't mean rumors and conspiracy theories surrounding his medical emergency have stopped. In fact, the stories are getting wilder by the day, and Jamie recently started trending again over rumors that he's on the DL. Meanwhile, an old video of Cat Williams resurfaced in which he claimed that Jamie is gay and that he slept with his artist, Mark Anthony. To give you some context, after Jamie was recently discharged from the hospital, he shared a cryptic post on IG calling out fake friends. "They killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you?" Jamie wrote. And he also added hashtags fake friends and fake love. Jamie's post sparked a wave of conspiracy theories, with fans trying to figure out what fake friends Jamie was talking about. And according to some fans, one of the fake friends Jamie was referring to could be none other than Sean Diddy Combs. See, Jamie and Diddy go way back, and while Jamie was in the hospital recovering from a still undisclosed medical emergency, reports appeared that Diddy wanted to silence Jamie to stop him from exposing the secrets about his sexuality and his rumored gay parties. Jamie previously admitted he used to record Diddy's wildest parties back in the day. However, many fans are now also wondering if Jamie participated in these parties. And this is because a clip recently resurfaced in which Cat Williams said Jamie was gay and claimed Jamie slept with singer Mark Anthony, who signed to his record label. But let's first talk about Jamie's connection to Diddy and his infamous parties. You've probably heard Jamie talk about Diddy's parties in multiple interviews, but did you notice that every time Jamie was on this topic, it seemed like he was choosing his words very carefully and making sure not to reveal too much? And then during Jamie's hospitalization, a lesser-known interview resurfaced in which Jamie revealed he used to record the craziest moments at Diddy's parties.
So I get the, but at that time it wasn't like the little camera y'all got, it was the big intrusive Canon. I had a battery pack. Hold on, man. Let me change the pack. Put my light on here. Do that again, Puff. Do that again. I missed that one. Do that again. Put the pack. So I started following him. So I followed him the whole time. I remember watching Puff at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I'm filming this. And it's a pool party that is ridiculous, man. Got together. So what happened was, I'm following Puff, and his parties were like amazing. We were in Philly one day. I fly to Philly, town car, same business, go up.
But what really got fans talking is the fact that in the same interview, Jamie mentioned that Nick Cannon used to sleep in his house when he was just 13 years, which fans thought sounded very similar to the whole Diddy and Usher situation.
Watch who benefited from it. Nick Cannon used to sleep on my couch.
Wow.
13 years old. He'd be in one part of the house. He'd be like, nigga, go back in there. You can't, fuck back in there. You can't come in here. And he'd be like this, right? He slept on the couch.
This interview started making the rounds online while Jamie was still in the hospital, and many fans commented saying that something definitely doesn't sound right with all these grown industry men inviting young boys to live with them. One fan said, first Usher, then Justin Bieber, Nick Cannon. Man, how many other boys y'all had on y'all couch? This is sad for real. Our own black people condoning with little boys. Jamie, it all makes sense why they're trying to kill you. And another fan commented, these parties are probably the reason why Jamie is clinging to life right now. Everybody knows he participated in these freak parties quite often. Meanwhile, another clip went viral on social media, and it was an old audio recording of Cat Williams calling Jamie gay and claiming that Jamie slept with his record label artist, Mark Anthony. All the way back in 2012, Cat claimed during his stand-up show in LA that he knows all of the other comedians' secrets, including those about industry men who are on the DL. Cat then asked the audience, who's gay, before answering the question himself and saying Jamie Foxx slept with his artist, Mark Anthony.
I know all the comedians and actors' secrets. Who's gay? Jamie Foxx. I can only say it because I can tell you the name of the dude. His name is Marcus Anthony. He's the only dude signed to Jamie Foxx's label. Check it out. And then Twitter the dude and ask him to see if he don't say yes.
Cat also claimed that Mark himself told him he hooked up with Jamie.
The dude told me backstage at a show and told me I could bring him on stage and air it out. I said, no, nigga, let me wait till I get to LA.
Now, what's also interesting is that Jamie never once denied these claims, and he didn't even want to address Cat's controversial comments. As for Mark Anthony, he was asked about all of this during a radio interview, and though Mark dismissed Cat's claims, you could tell by his body language that he got really nervous when the interviewer brought it up, and he even tried to make an awkward joke pretending like he didn't know who Cat Williams was.
Because really, the rumor mill has gone crazy, let me just set it up, and you're here to address this because Cat Williams, who's been out on tour.
Who?
Cat Williams, the comedian.
First of all, I am not gay. Let's just say that off the bat. Jamie Foxx is not gay. We have never had any kind of interaction. Jamie Foxx is like a big brother to me, a mentor to me. So, I mean, that's just to clear that up.
Now, we do know that Mark Anthony and Jamie are still very close, and Mark actually reshared Jamie's recent story about fake friends who betrayed him, and added a comment saying, Judas showed his self. Jamie Foxx, know them for what they are. All this had led fans to speculate that one of these fake friends Jamie and Mark were talking about was Diddy. As we already discussed, Jamie used to record Diddy's wild parties back in the day, and yet he never really said anything incriminating about Diddy, which means Jamie for sure knows how to keep secrets. However, Diddy never publicly commented on Jamie's hospitalization or shared any messages of support, and some fans are saying that Jamie felt betrayed by Diddy, considering that he's kept his secrets for years and Diddy couldn't even bother to check in on him. And then there were even some conspiracy theories suggesting that it was Diddy who wanted to get rid of Jamie because he was scared Jamie would expose him. Now, when you add to all this the comments made by Cat Williams about Jamie and Mark Anthony sleeping together, and the fact that Mark commented on Jamie's new post about fake friends, the whole situation gets even more bizarre. Also, keep in mind that Cat is not the only industry person who claimed Jamie plays for the other team. Years ago, Howard Stern also publicly suggested that Jamie was gay.
He seems to be into some bizarre thing where he wants to start in with me so that he can get some attention for his channel on the Fox Hole, which is an interesting name too.
Right.
About the hole. I wonder which hole they're referring to. How many holes are in Jamie? He's got an ass and he's got a mouth. And I don't know what he does with them.
Me behind the scenes, I'd like to.
Yeah, you know what? And be a man. Come in here and say it right to our faces. Come in here and tell Robin she's a house and come in here and tell me how irrelevant I am. Come here man to man and talk to me. If you really have a bug up your ass about me and we're on the same team. My guess is we're probably not on the same team. I think he's playing for a way different team.
So at this point, no one's shocked anymore by all the conspiracy theories floating around Jamie's hospitalization and his friendship with Diddy, and fans are now saying they believe Cat Williams was telling the truth about Jamie and Mark Anthony. One fan said, "For anyone who thinks Cat is lying, please go watch Howard Stern say the same shit. Both aren't lying. One maybe, no way in hell both." And another fan added, he escaped Diddy's gay parties and went on to host his own sausage fests. But how do you feel about all these rumors surrounding Jamie Foxx? Do you think Cat Williams was telling the truth about Jamie hooking up with Mark Anthony? Comment down below, and don't miss out on this next video.
Hey, Kron, hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Your volume is like way super low. So I'm not sure if you gotta turn your mic up, but nobody can really hear you. No sound at all. I don't know if they can hear you, but I can't hear you. All right, so I think the good brother Crumb is gonna go out and come back in. We have 30 minutes into it, and this shit's getting interesting as hell. We're gonna keep going. I'm excited to talk about more than just Jamie Foxx and P. Diddy. And while Crumb is tapping back in, we're gonna talk about Obama, Trump, all the latest conspiracy theories. Because you know, conspiracy theories, if you conspiring on an idea or thought or following a rabbit hole 8, 9, 10 years ago, and you was telling friends and family members about certain things that are now being exposed. Back then, remember it was called a conspiracy. Well, I wasn't really into conspiracy theory situation personally. Like I understood the conspiracy theories and theorists of certain conspiracies. I got it, but I was also into just like the facts, history, the dates, the people, the places, events. We can probably look back on as some type of stone monument. It used to be there and tell a story behind that stone monument, and it belonged to people. But the point is, conspiracy theorists are looking like great people right now. So we're gonna conspiracize on Jamie, Obama, Trump, everybody. Hold on, let me see what comment. Give me 1 second. All right, brother, tapping back in. Gotta get the sound right, y'all, because I couldn't hear him. I know y'all couldn't hear him. The video is super low.
Can you hear me now?
100% better. 100%. We have contact.
Okay, excellent. My apologies. I wanted to go back to Ice Cube real quick. So the situation with Ice Cube is that he started the Big Three. The Big Three is the alternative to the NBA. And I think what upset Ice Cube was that they wouldn't let ex-NBA players have a second shot at a career through his outlet, and he got really upset. That was part one. Part two of why Ice Cube was upset is because of the jab. I really don't want to call it the C word. I want to call it the jab. So he lost a lot of opportunities through that. But all of that happened right when not Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, another one of our favorite unchosen ones. After Harvey Weinstein got locked up, you saw all of these things take place. A lot, the great revealing, the great reset was during that whole covert operation, the pandemic.
R. Kelly.
Ooh, another one. Right. And a lot of this stuff was happening around Bill Cosby as well, with the acquisition of NBC. So now, and I'm not saying Ice Cube is a good guy. I'm saying we got to wait till somebody get upset, because, and this is what I say in general. When people get upset, that's when you hear the truth from them. While they're happy, if things are good, there's no pressure. It's get along game. But when things aren't working out, then you're going to get a Hollywood rogue. And I think that's the character that Ice Cube is playing right now. Because I see a lot of people in the comments, and I think a lot of you assume things are black and white. To be a good guy, you're all good. To be a bad guy, you're all bad. Some good guys are bad and some bad guys are good. So I don't want to take this time to, Ice Cube is a gay. I don't care what Ice Cube is. The fact that he is mad and he's speaking out is a breath of fresh air to me. Now, on the other side, we've always known Cat Williams to be a rogue. Cat Williams has never been an insider, never been a gatekeeper, never had a dog in the fight where he was trying to earn brownie points by putting on a dress or whatever the case may be. Even though I would put him in the same category as Prince. They're not homosexual, but Cat Williams just don't come off as a manly man. I digress. Cat Williams is a true. I'm sorry.
Metrosexual.
He yes with the perm and the, very very metro. And so now this has always been the theme of Hollywood. Someone in the comments, let me put some respect on the name. Conscious Connect said, this is okay. So they talked about the parallel. Justin Bieber was a boy toy. Usher was a boy toy. Now is coming out. Nick Cannon was Jamie Foxx's boy toy, sleeping on his couch when he was 12 and 13 years old, a part of the initiation.
Damn.
This is not conspiracy. This is not slander. This is the reality.
Well,
and please.
It makes you think about the situation with B2K as well. And then the young man, what's his name? He's playing on That's So Raven. What's his name?
Orlando Brown.
Orlando Brown been spreading a lot of fucking truths too. People think he's crazy. So it makes him, anybody they make seem like they're crazy, listen to what they're saying. And then just follow the trail. You got Cat Williams and his style of comedy. Cat Williams really don't fuck with nobody. Like, you haven't seen Cat Williams on no King of Comedy's tour with no motherfucker. Cat Williams does his own tours and sell every fucking thing out. Now, I don't think Cat has sold out arenas like what's his name? Motherfucking Kevin Hart. I don't think Cat has did that big of an arena, but Cat does so fucking many. It might as well just be one. Like, that brother's a fucking genius. And Cat, I believe, got with Cube on Friday after next Friday. Remember, he was the pimp. He's like, Donna, pimp down, 1182. That was Cat Williams' first major, one of them major films with Cube, right? Money Mike.
Correct.
His name, Money Mike. And Money Mike got into it with Damon, who's played by Terry Crews. Now let's go back to Terry Crews news. Remember Terry Crews in the news? And Terry Crews talking about So you guys have to follow the fucking dots. But Cube kept it 100, and Cat always kept it 100. I remember Cat Williams stand up on HBO. Cat said, "Did y'all know it was 16 new super Earths?" And the audience got quiet. Like, Cat is always politicized and dropping you fucking gems in his comedy. And he really started doing that. He been doing that shit. Like, Cat always is conveying a political something through something. The media just clowns him. TMZ and other media outlets just try to make a mockery of him, like he's a fucking court jester. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got the wrestling with the young kid or whatever. Like, I mean, it's just little dumb shit. He's been arrested so many times but never been to court because it's just stupid shit. They fucking with him, you know? And he made his appearance on Def Comedy Jam. Watch this now. Listen up. He made his appearance on Def Comedy Jam, the 20th anniversary. Now, Def Comedy Jam is founded by who? Stan Latham and Russell Simmons, right? Watch me. Def Comedy Jam didn't take off. And I'm mentioning Def Comedy Jam because Ice Cube himself said that he poached all of his actors from fucking Def Comedy Jam. Cube never knew who fucking Chris Tucker was until he hit Def Comedy Jam. Chris Tucker shows up on Friday. He didn't know who Cat Williams was. He didn't know who motherfucking what's his name, man? Kevin Hart was. None of them. Michael Blackson. All from Def Comedy Jam. So Cube connection to getting his actors from Def Comedy Jam from Stan Latham and Stan Latham and Russell Simmons. Now, Stan Lathan and Russell Simmons could not do anything with that situation without getting them a rich Yehudi, one of them rich Jews. Everybody knows that. And I forget his name, but they got him, and that's how they got that show up off the ground and running. Def Comedy Jam, Cat Williams. Now, Cat Williams in his comedy stand-up by himself always dropped jewels. Cat Williams said, "Did y'all know they had 16 new Super Earths?" The audience got quiet, like, what the fuck? He's like, no, nigga, the night I got arrested, I seen it under me, like a marquee under me saying, just now found 16 new Super Earths. You know what I'm saying? Cat is always dropping some history. And when that episode, when he told you that his first mansion party, his first Hollywood party, he told you that it was some weird shit going on in every room. He opened the door and he seen Professor Ogilvy, he said, from the Parkers. And he's telling you that there's a culture going on out here that's fucking weird. Now, Hollywood really don't fuck with Cat for obvious reasons, for whatever reason. Hollywood really don't fuck with Cube either because of what they stand for, their principles. So really what we're seeing with the Ice Cube situation is just a war between two principles. And the darker principle will not let them boys cross over. But everybody talks about this. Monique talks about it. Y'all thought Monique was fucking crazy. Remember? Monique was telling Steve Harvey, nigga, fuck the money game. It's an integrity game, she said. And Steve was like, nah, just Steve on his big shit. Like, Steve got the Steve Harvey show, got the #1 talk show. He fucking bumped Ricky Smiley off the air. #1 talk show. He hosting goddamn Family Feud. He hosting goddamn Little Big Shots. He hosting goddamn Family. He hosted about 5-6 shows. And then you know what happened? Steve Harvey got too goddamn greedy and tried to do a deal merger, and they all dropped his ass. So you only see him now back on Family Feud. Little Big Shots lost all that shit.
Teach
that there are that darker force. They'll build you up and then fucking drop you, let you collapse. You don't believe me? Ask Nick Cannon. Wild 'N Out, #1 fucking show. There hasn't been a show like Wild 'N Out since A Living Color. Check the fucking record. There has not been a black show, anything like what Wild 'N Out is doing since In Living Color. They're comparing the genius of Nick Cannon to the Wayans. It's a lot of them Wayans. All the Wayans do fucking movie and comedy. If you like them or not, that's just who the fuck they are. Since Damon Wayans, they're comparing him to that situation. This is Nick Cannon. Now, Nick Cannon is now being allegedly said to be sleeping on the couch with who?
Jamie Foxx.
See how I just tied the circle? Everybody I just named was in connection. Everybody I just named was in connection. And everybody I named, Orlando Brown, been telling y'all the truth. But see, truth is new hate speech. If you say something true, it's now hateful. It's being condemned as hateful talk by saying truth. And see, this is how Jesus was telling you in the Bible that you should know the end of times and who the seeker of truth is. He said, we wrestle not against flesh, but the principalities of evil in dark places. He said that Satan, who is the God of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe by the truth being hidden. Seek ye the truth. By knowing the truth, you shall be free. This is just the signs that Jesus was telling you. So now the truth is becoming the new hate speech from Cat Williams. Get called crazy. Dave Chappelle said, I'm not putting a fucking dress on. Name 2 people that never put a dress on and they got called crazy. Dave Chappelle never have put a fucking dress on. Because that's the fucking that's the initiation. You little dude. What's his name? Kevin Hart. Gotta put a dress on. Chris motherfucking Rock, dress on. Huh?
You know, it seemed like we did see a lot because you did mention this name. I totally forgot. Terry Crews
yes,
was a Donald Trump victim. Grab him by the bussy. They grabbed Terry Crews by the jank, one of the gatekeepers. And after Terry Crews cried about it, I don't know if it was to Oprah or whoever else. And I'm probably the worst example, but I haven't seen a lot of Terry Crews since then. I may be wrong. He may have a great movie coming out. Who knows?
No, the last chance Terry Crews had to do something with the fucking Wayans brothers on White Chicks, and then he went on TV to host what's it called? the American fucking Got Talent shit after they fired Nick Cannon. See how they all connected? Y'all, man.
Ooh!
Y'all ain't paying attention. Y'all just watch fucking TV being programmed. It's the same people. It's the same actors. Different movies. Different roles, different scripts. And they're showing you this shit, and you're not paying attention to the fucking connection. Now it makes sense when Professor Griff said that how the Aaliyah situation and R. Kelly situation with Dame Dash and Aaliyah being best friend with Quincy Jones' fucking daughter, who was fucking with Tupac, and Tupac didn't do the ritual with Quincy Jones, but he did the ritual. Tupac in the tub with the gold chains on. That was his initiation, just like a dress. There was a bunch of.
Ooh!
It's a studio, y'all. It was a bunch of male photographers and white man niggas just in the room watching this nigga in the tub. What no girls in there? He had no girls in the tub, nigga. Nobody pouring no champagne in his glass, naked. Nothing, just him, exposed. Then he tied Quincy Jones. He tied Quincy Jones back to the homosexual situation dealing with. Quincy Jones gave you Queen Latifah. He also gave you Tevin Campbell.
As a child as well, Tevin came in as a minor.
He was the first usher. Y'all better fucking tech.
Damn.
Yep. 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 So that's my 2 cents on it. Continue, bro.
Yeah, I think this whole Jamie Foxx thing is honestly a thread of a big, huge, ugly Bill Cosby conspiracy theory sweater. That was a joke. Everybody said, yeah. but yeah, seriously though, the Jamie Foxx thing opens up a bigger can of worms. Jamie has very much been an insider. You know, and here, family, by show of votes, press 111 if you did not know Jamie Foxx is not his real name. This Jamie Foxx is a fictitious name, no difference than Dr. Seuss or Scarface or Jay-Z. I think they call it a pseudonym. If you did not know this
Barack
guy,
Obama.
who we call, not Barack, you did not go
Barack
there.
Obama. I told y'all we're gonna talk about Barack Obama. Pause on Jamie Foxx for a second. Let's talk about Sorrento. Tap in. If y'all ain't shared it yet, y'all better start sharing. We better get the numbers up now. Now we don't got warmed up. You feel me? Let's talk about Barry Sorrento. When Donald Trump asked Barry Sorrento to see his birth certificate, I wonder why people freaked out. Like, why is his birth certificate? Because he's not from here. And you cannot run. You can't run for that seat. You can't run for that seat unless you have certain credentials. Now, Barack comes out of fucking left field, out of goddamn Chicago. Nobody even heard of Barack Obama in Chicago. Chicago been on the news a lot before he even ran for president. Why was he mentioned? You know, Ronald Reagan used to be the governor of California. How you know that shit? Because you know Ronald Reagan was also the fucking governor of California at one point. You see what I'm saying? You know about the Bush family? You don't know a damn thing about Barack Obama. Bits and pieces. And Trump called for his birth certificate. Birth certificate ended up being from Hawaii. Father from Kenya, mom from fucking Sweden or somewhere. But birth certificate Hawaii. Giving y'all a goddamn a wild goose chase. Go ahead, brother.
Shout out to Hawaii, sending you our sympathies. We know that you are the closest thing to a matriarchy that this country has ever had. If you go and look, I don't know what year Barack was born in, but if you go and look, when when Barack Obama was supposedly born in Hawaii, Hawaii was not part of America at the time. Hawaii is the newest state, what you call a state, the newest theft, land robbery in America of the 40 states, continental or not, is Hawaii. Hawaii was autonomous, indigenous. They had their own royalty, which was a woman at the time, a matriarch. And during the time when Obama was born was the time when Hawaii was not acquisitioned by America. So even if he said he was born in America, you weren't You know, that wasn't, I'm sorry, even if you said you were born in Hawaii at the particular time that you were born at, supposedly, there, Hawaii wasn't even American at the time. So, you know, we really can't make it make sense. In addition to that, the girl, I can't remember her name. I just showed it on a video. Her last name is Fuddy, Fuddy. The girl, her name is Fuddy, who did find Barack Obama's birth certificate. She died in a CIA classic. Shout out to Aaliyah. In a CIA classic. Shout out to 9/11. In a CIA classic. Shout out to Otis Redding, where she died in a plane crash. And get this, family. She was the only one not to live. She was the only one to die. Everybody survived that plane crash except for her. But nonetheless, this whole Barack Obama thing is definitely a part of the bigger picture that the minister was talking about.
Yeah, no doubt at all. So I also want to go back. I'm not sure if you remember. We talked about what's his name, King George, the real heir to the crown. You remember him?
Yep.
And how they vacated the palace under COVID and what the word COVID really meant, and how he broke that down and he tied it to Trump. And he gave you, go ahead.
Corona. Keep going.
Corona. Yeah, that's it. Corona. And he gave you the Corona analogy of the crown or the head and also what it meant. And you looked at the palace doors, they took off the seal or the crescent and they juxtaposed another crescent showing a change of guard, meaning he actually is the rightful heir. And he brought up Trump and how Trump is the Christ of America. And he's being persecuted and crucified before everybody right now. This, I'm telling you what he's saying. And he said Trump is the only hope for America. He's really the only hope for America, but they're gonna make him look like he's just a fucking bad guy. That was it. Do you hear me? She said, I refuse to vote for a gangster. Gangster walking slick talking. Trump gonna be the savior, y'all. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm not advocating politically for any political party, but I think Trump gonna be the savior, though. I'm not sure if bro froze or what happened. What do y'all think? Trump card. Wow, love pass, but y'all don't think that Trump could do a good job of holding it down? I think Trump did a lot more financially or for the economy at large than any other president. You got to think. Let's think of the last term of dealing with Barack, and then go back before Barack and find out the impact of the people. What did that particular presidency have impact-wise on the people? Impact. And I think because our people are so poorly miseducated and what a true patriot and the word national or nationality looks like, I think our people are dealing with citizenship mentality, which for me sets up the analogy for a demo system, what they call a democracy, which is kind of a groupthink situation, which is against the republic. I think Trump stands for the republic. If you understand, if you truly understood the history of the republic, then you automatically know that the republic, so-called black people, have always been for the republic and Republicans, right out of the Whig party. So I'm just giving my stance on the support of the idea of Trump versus what the alternative will be. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's Trump or whoever, my vote is for Trump. Historically, if you do the research on the Trump family, Trump installed the U.S. Space Force. Nobody really talks about that. After hearing at least for a month straight of UFO sightings and aliens in somebody's backyard. They got it on tape, and they seen the fucking spaceship, seen another spaceship, and then you have actual veterans who served in these commands verbally saying that they are we got spaceships. Yeah, they call them materialized crafts, like they come from another fucking dimension. We don't know where they come from, but we definitely got one or two of them, if not four of them, and we don't reverse engineer them motherfuckers. And the lady in the interview asked the fucking pilot, asked the officer. She said, "What about the bodies?" He said, "Yeah." He didn't say body. He said, "But finding these crafts, there are dead pilots inside the crafts." And she said, "He like humanoid." And he said, "I really can't say." Like, God damn, what are they finding? Trump was the only one to invoke the Space Force, is my whole point on that situation. So I think we got to take a deeper look at Trump. And we will one day talk about Trump and Mary and Christ, which is his grandparents, and really dig more into it.
Okay, absolutely. Brother, I wanted to ask, how much time do you have? Because I wanted to go a little bit deeper.
Oh, please continue.
Did I lose audio? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, I don't know if the family is keeping up 100%. Julius, let me just go over this. Julius, they said Obama, Fuddy, the girl, Fuddy, said Obama was lying about his date of birth. Fact check. Obama was 61. Conspiracy theory BS, at least on this point. Well, it's not BS because Fuddy, the girl who died, said his birth certificate showed that he was born in 58 or something like that. So get half of the story and then they get confused because it can't make it out. But I would encourage you to do what the minister told you in the very beginning. Family, stop believing what people on the internet say. This is the thing. When we say do your research, that doesn't mean a quick Google search. You know, I know that the family thinks shit is only surface level deep, but the reason the minister and I are who we are is because we've spent we didn't just do a quick YouTube search or a Google search and get the answer. No, family, you got to just go back and rewind the video about halfway. The minister connected like 16 dots. When we say it's a for a reason, not because it's eye level 1 + 1. Family, it's a lot deeper than a goofy ass Google search. But let me go back to what the minister was saying about the aliens, because that's a deep topic as well. So I think maybe 2, 3, maybe no, it couldn't be yesterday. Maybe the day before yesterday, China just released a robot convention. If you have not heard that China had a robot convention, press if you don't know. But I need to know who knows and who doesn't know. China just did a robot convention 2 days ago. If you heard of it, I'm sorry, if you did not hear, press 222. Now, in the robot convention, they robots that look humanoid. Autonomous robots that look humanoid. What does this have to do with aliens? The point is that we have been told for years upon years that these craft have been operated by individuals. They told us that prior to drone technology. The closest thing we ever had to drone technology. Remember when? Well, probably a lot of y'all don't. When we were children, we had the floor set, the floor model, and yo ass was the remote control. Then we got to a point where we didn't have to go turn the TV and go adjust the rabbit ears. We don't do that anymore. We can operate and turn the TV remotely. So now, follow me on this, because this is not high science. Follow me on this. Just like we can control a TV, we now can control any type of craft, aircraft, flying object, a car, a TV. They all can now be controlled remotely. Now, I want to put this out there, that alien science or technology is 1,000 years beyond ours, then would it not be plausible, and I'm just putting it out there, would it not be plausible to say that they too have where they can control crafts or whatever the case may be remotely? Now, if anybody says this is going to be extreme, there's several movies. Go back and watch God damn, I don't know what Avengers it was, but there were no aliens in the UFOs. There's been thousands, no, I'm not gonna say thousands. There's been a plethora, a cornucopia, a myriad of TV shows where the alien invasion. I think, as a matter of fact, it was Independence Day as well. There were no aliens in the UFOs. It was the aliens were in the mothership. The UFOs were just drones. There's a mothership. I don't know how far from Earth, but it was within distance of the TV. And the mothership was controlled. This is also an Independence Day. How did Will Smith stop the aliens? He had to kill the mothership. How do you turn off the TV control? So with that said, I would postulate, and it's just a theory, that because remember, press 333. Press 333 if you've seen a UFO but you didn't see an alien. Press 333 but you did not see an alien. I would say at this particular time, based on our technology, it would be safe to even assume that some of those UFO ships, even if they aren't, they may be controlled by us under the guise of UFO. These are just conspiracy theories. I have no proof other than predictive programming. I yield the floor, Minister.
I think you pretty on code with that, bro. There was a comment made earlier, a little ways up, by Bob or Bobby or something like that. He was talking about how basically they committed treason against the the United States American Corporation has been dissolved, and the government is under occupation of another party system that has usurped the republic. And that's why you get a whole bunch of white folk who are like super paranoid at losing their country and how things are going. You got a group of Americans who don't give a fuck. How many Mexicans come over here like, whatever, shit. I'm not cutting my grass no more either. They can cut my grass $30. Fuck that shit. So, but what black people don't see is what Dr. Claude Anderson was saying. At the rate, population-wise, of Mexicans coming into America, this is just political. Going back to why Trump was like, hey, we got to build a wall. We're going to be fucked up in a minute. If too many come over here, we're going to be fucked up. Like, the whole thing is going to be unstable. Too many fucking people. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you hear world population reduction programs and stuff like that, because it's like, all right, it's too many fucking people on this rock. We only got 5 rocks. Follow me. We got 5 rocks, 5 continents, and all the continents start with A. Europe is not a fucking continent. That's predictive programming they put in your brain to tell you that Europe is a continent, and then tell you that what a peninsula is. So these 5 rocks, there's too many fucking people. So what they're starting to show you now is through social media and other outlets that there are more rocks outside of the ice wall. There's more land. And for those of you who didn't follow the research of Admiral Byrd, who talked about going beyond the ice wall and seeing more tropical climates and animals you haven't seen in 1,000 years. They're still alive. They'd fucking all go extinct just from these rocks. They got cut off from other rocks. They were everywhere. And they show you these huge reptilians. Listen to what I'm talking about. Reptilians. This is the fantasy of reptilians are supposed to be the aliens. And the reptilians are coming and all this other fucking Anunnaki horse manure. And then Nebaru is returning to. They just filling out here with some Space Odyssey shit. It's called Space Odyssey. Because they've never showed you anything up there. There's no 4K camera picture photos or high-res pictures of anything beyond the fucking stratosphere, other than just plain black darkness. That's above. Now you go out of space this way, there's more. The point I'm making is, going back to UFOs, is the Germans, by way of Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler had a faction called the Gestapo, or the SS. The Gestapo and the SS were placed here genetically by a group of individuals called the Sata Queens. This is the reptilian race, according to Professor Rick Smith. The Sata Queens, who are they're this not androgynous, but this female kingdom, reptilian kingdom. And this is the birth of the egg. That's why anybody that comes to this dimension has to go through a womb, according to the laws of the Sata Queens. Now, the Gestapo or the SS were similar in command to who they're called the Dukes. The Dukes come from Canis Major and Canis Minor. See, what I'm giving you is the galactical military element, and I'm gonna bring it down to Earth and show you how the empowerment started with these Earthlings getting all this information. So now, supposedly the Germans in the late 30s, early 40s, the Germans who were now gaining control of not only taking over Europe, because Germany is a part of Europe or Europa, but Germany is a small section of Europa. Like Norway and Denmark and Sweden is way bigger than fucking Germany. Okay, so when the European population at large, and I named those three areas for a reason, because these are the Nordics and the Alpine, which is the race that Hitler was trying to restore. Because the Alpine and the Nordic were the original race of the Palladians. And Hitler in return got, go look this shit up. Hitler in return got space tech in the late 30s and early 40s to where he started building spaceships back then. You don't fucking believe me? World War II, what kind of planes did we have in America? Propeller planes. Hitler had jets. We just really perfected the jets in the early 70s. And here in America, like Hitler been had the technology because he was tapped into the Palladians. To the Palladians. And the deal was to eradicate this subspecies. Now they can also go into the Yaqub story by way of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We'll take it there with Yaqub. It can go into that story as well if you want to go in that dimension, or keep it surface level. Just understand that Hitler was doing a job. And before that, real quick, the 40s. Guess who was at the Switzerland meeting? The vice general for Adolf Hitler was at the Switzerland meeting, the Switzerland UN meeting with Margaret Sanger.
Teach.
Conference. Guess who was made an honorary member? Lothar Stoddard. Look up Lothar Stoddard and see who he is. And then you will see the merger of a worldwide eugenics movement to eradicate the unfavorable ones. This is in the late 30s. This is throughout history. This is Bill Gates in the Gates Co-Foundation, where the fuck the case is, of world population decrease. It's not the entire world. It's just these 5 plates. These 5 plates got too many people on, according to them, as everything is going. But see, these Europeans understand that they are genetically defective. They are genetically in population reducing. By the year 2045, it's gonna be hard to really find a good white person anymore. So-called white person or Caucasian people. And then more and more, the truth is going to be revealed to the so-called copper race people of their history and their connection to the North American, South American, Central America. You're hearing all this stuff now for a reason, family. Nobody was talking this much noise about indigenous American people 10 years ago as loud as they are now. Nobody was. Nobody. Can't find nobody. 90s, early 2000s, Sonetta them was on the corner fucking arguing about some other shit. Unks, and everybody had the RBG, and everybody was back to Africa. Everybody was a fucking Garveyite. Nobody talked about the books that came before Columbus. And respect to these names I'm about to drop on y'all, I'm giving y'all free game for like 2 minutes real quick. I'm gonna pass the mic. If y'all don't write down these names, look up George G. Jackson. Black author, historian, George G. Jackson. Henry H. Wells. Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. Start there. And you research their research. That's what I did. That's how I started. That's how I began to know history so well, because I researched their research. And when I tell you that the destruction of the brown and black people has been on the table for a long time, since Margaret Sanger attended that conference in Switzerland. And you know what the Germans said? Americans gave them the blueprint on how to exterminate these so-called Yehudis. Credited in history under eugenics. And that's all Hitler was doing, a eugenics. Birth control, sterilization, all that shit. And in America, black folks been getting sterilized since the 80s and before then. That's how you get people. The father of gynecology,
J. Marion Sims.
J. Marion Sims. Thank you. That's how you get him. See, we could talk about everything else, man, but y'all have to understand the history of this stuff, bro. I can't stress it enough, and that's why it's hard for me to have conversations, because people don't want to go to this level of research where you can call out these motherfuckers' names who are associated with a crime against humanity. And then the picture gets bigger and global. And then once the picture gets global and bigger, it goes universal. And then you can see everything. So all this talk about the boogeymans and the reptilians and these creatures, and y'all have not seen one of them. They haven't given you pictures or photos of anything yet. It's cartoon sketches from your imagination. Nobody has all these iPhones, and you can put a camera system in your house and look at your camera from your phone from fucking 100 miles away if you wanted to, 1,000 miles away. Look at your house in real time. Nobody has captured, even the situation in Las Vegas when they say a creature was in their backyard. It was hard to see anything. It's just some big ass. I saw some big ass eyes though. Like, I'm like, okay, what the fuck is that? That was not what they showed us. That is not what they're showing us. These creatures, or these foreigners, or these aliens are energies, and they possess the bodies of certain individuals. That's why they look all distinct and look weird, look different. And I'm gonna pass the mic without getting into the cloning situation. I don't think they're cloning Negroes. I don't think no. Hold on, my back. I don't think nowhere they had a board meeting and said we need one more Jamie Foxx. Can you print them? I don't think they're just cloning Gucci Mans and Jamie Foxxes. I think cloning is very, 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 very expensive, and for a very good purpose. Maybe to continue bloodlines and lineages and some shit like that. But I don't think they're cloning Negroes on consignment. I yield the floor.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know if I'm looking at this right, but it says we only have 17 likes and it's like 200 some people watching. I just want to take a minute before we say anything else, family. Please and thank you. Hit that like button. You know, usually we make an appeal which goes unheard. I'm not tripping on nobody. To donate to the Cash App or whatever the case may be. And MOI has confirmed the same thing I have. Those things don't necessarily come through, and that's perfectly fine. But family, you can always hit that like button. If you don't hit the like button, and that's why I'm so quick to block people. Y'all just come up here, you say what you want, you kind of just disrespect us covertly, and then you don't even hit the like button. Family, I don't give a f about none of y'all. And the second y'all say something crazy, I'll block you because I know you're a hater. So stop being a hater. Hit the like button. We're doing it for free. Jeez Louise. And tap all the way in. But yeah, with that said, Jay Edmonds said he did wipe his feet. Thank you so much. But yeah, going back to what the minister was saying, he said something and he went over it real quickly. And this is the thing about the minister. The minister will speak for, let's say, 10, 15 minutes, but he's going to say 100 things. So it's really hard to follow back on because there's so much he said. But going back to what he said about the Satai Queens, family, this is a reality. The Satai, because remember, everything we own, we refer to it as a female. All ships are female. All planets are, not all planets, but matter of fact, actually, it's only one planet, two, Earth and Venus. But this universe, this is not a universe because it's not just one. It's an omniverse. But when we deal with the universe, we're dealing with a yoniverse. So when we say these Satar queens, it's not outlandish. In addition to that, life comes from the woman. And these Satar queens, yes, they are reptilian. Somebody said Blue Pill saw a reptilian. Blue Pill is a god darn lie. He's a goddamn lie. The first person that ever told you about a rep, and I love Blue Pill. The minister and I have both sat down and spoken with Blue Pill. Great guy. But let's call the reality the reality. The first time you ever heard a word about a reptilian, I'm talking about you. First time you heard about it was David Icke, the European, because that's who you tapped in with, the European. But David Icke got it from who did David Icke got it from? Credo Mutois. The first person to ever talk about reptilians for real was Credo Mutois, and Credo Mutois told you he was speaking metaphorically. The white man. I'm sorry. Let me stop saying it. The troglodyte, the flugelrod, right. The flugelrod told you what he heard, and go back and watch Doctor Strange, the first one. Doctor Strange went to the way Doctor Strange got his powers. He went into a book and he read a blurb, and the Asian guy came in there like, "What are you doing?" He said, "I read this right here." He said, "But you didn't read the other part of the book." Doctor Strange cherry-picked sacred esoteric information and ran with it. Go back and watch the movie. He cherry-picked it. That's the same thing David Icke did. Stop letting these white people take our information, cherry pick it, and reinvent it the way they see fit, and then then you go run with that. And now Blue Pill said the same thing the white man said. Family, you the reptilian. Go back and look at the ancients. They wore a snake, a uraeus on their head. The reptilian energies coming from the Ida and the Pingala. These are two nerves in the body that represent a white snake and a black snake. I don't care what school of thought you go.
Teach.
You can go to the Nation of the Gods and Earths. You can go to the Moorish Science Temple. You can go to the Nation of Islam. They're all going to tell you that when you're dealing with this Kundalini energy, that's a serpent wrapped around Jacob's ladder, which is the bottom 5 fused bones of your spinal cord, 3.5 times. You can Google that. Yeah. None of this is literal. Oh, there's literally a snake. No, it's not literally a snake inside you. We're talking about an energy that slithers. Like I was talking to this girl, she said, "Oh, Crumb, you said we reptilian, but we don't slither." Family, the only way you're gonna be literally a reptilian is when you are sperm. You are an effing tadpole. You slithered up your mother's vagina because that was very reptilian-esque of you. Not to say you're literally, but just saying these things. Just like when Jesus told you, he said, "This is a parable." I don't even believe in Jesus, but when he told you that right there should have shut the whole Bible down. That was Dr. Seuss talking to you. Oh, Dr. Seuss, are your books real? No, they're parables for something deeper. Jesus said that. It's a parable for something deeper. So when we say the Satai Queens, remember, when you have this whole cloning thing, a lot of people will tell you cloning, the closest thing you're going to see is parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis is where a female gives birth without a male. The only time a female can do it is where they clone themselves. I'm sorry.
Hold on. That's called a zogite. Zogite.
Teach.
Look up what he just said, Parthenogenean, and then look up a zogite. Go ahead, continue, please.
So now you're gonna see, because if anybody knows, I'm the biggest subscriber to Jesus not being literal. Oh, you don't believe in Jesus? I don't believe him literally. I believe there's a Spider-Man. I've read the story. It's a great story. I'm not saying Spider-Man exists in real life. So the whole thing with Jesus is telling you about a certain parthenogenesis that you're only going to see from the Satar Queens. One of the Satar Queens had a baby, and the baby was not a clone. You're only going to see this in real life with Komodo dragons, which are the biggest reptiles known to humankind. The Komodo dragon is the only reptilian female that can have parthenogenesis, give birth to a baby that's not a clone, because the baby is going to be a male. When you get a clone, the clone has to be different than the original. Through the technology of the Satai Queens, you were able to do what we call a cloning process, really parthenogenesis, where the baby is not the exact duplicate of the mother. This is a science, because remember, how do we figure out whatever it is we figured out? We study nature. Well, when we study nature, in terms of like the Komodo dragon, for instance, we're going to see this parthenogenesis-esque story in the Bible through a woman.
Yep.
It
And a serpent.
now remember, the serpent, I would argue, is feminine. Because remember, the Uraeus, the serpent that was on the Egyptian's head, that was a female serpent. The Kundalini energy, that's a female serpent. Go back to the because remember, this Kundalini energy, this is higher self, lower self. It starts at the bottom of the spine, starts from lower self, and then it goes all the way up to the.
Hold on. I don't mean to cut your wisdom, but family, my phone is dying. So if I happen to clip out, stay tapped in, stay tuned in. I can't find my charger, but my phone about to tap out in a little bit, man. Keep going, bro. You on fucking fire with the whole situation. I want to add this right here. Remember, the Kundalini energy was coming from a sacred place to your brain. Well, like you said, Jacob's ladder represents the tree of knowledge. The apple represents knowledge. The serpent represents wisdom. Sophie is just wisdom, knowledge itself. So that's all I wanted to add to that piece, man. I just want to let you know that my phone about to die. If I find my charger, I'll be good. But in case I clip out, I appreciate it.
I want to pass the mic to you in just 2 seconds, because when we go back to the Kundalini energy of higher self, this is the greater awakening. This is what we call, figuratively, Christ consciousness. So Christ consciousness is to be conscious and aware and to know. According to Gnostic conversations, the serpent asked Eve, "Why does your God seek to keep you ignorant?" And the serpent opened her eyes, and she therefore opened his eyes. So now when God found out about this, because this is the Gnostic story, because remember, God is a bad guy. When God found out about it, one woman helped the other woman get to the higher self. God found out about it because God was seeking to keep that bitch ignorant. God said, "I will put enmity between both of you, ma'am. Whatever children you have will be fighting with her children. Both of y'all children, both of you two ladies, children will be fighting for the rest of the time." I yield.
Facts. No, that's fucking facts. That's fucking facts. That's facts. Now, as we've covered so many times before, that same plight that creator put on Eve and the serpent about the enmity between the two seeds, and you can cross-check the word seed, going back to that zygote again, going back to that same situation again. This was a cross-pollination or cross-breeding of the reptilian into the original human race, they called them, or the Adapa race. And the biblical story is showing the marriage between the reptilians and the original Adapa, who were created. Now that creation, when you go back to Genesis and it says let us and let them and so on and so forth, you can draw from the earliest times of Zechariah's teaching dealing with the Anunnaki, dealing with Enki and Enlil, and Ea, which is their sister. Ea took some of her DNA and mixed with the Adapa. The Adapa were scientifically, the Adapa would be who what's his name? I think his name in a minute. But scientifically, according to anthropology, it's called Zenxanthropus. Dr. Leakey, his wife, actually discovered it. It's called a Zenxanthropus, which is an Africanus robustus. And if I'm fucking you up with these words, that means you don't understand anthropology or any of this, and it's okay. But I encourage you to study anthropology, because if you study anthropology, it forces you to study anatomy, you study biology, and that's knowing thyself. So anyway, these beings represent Adam or Adapa. And we know that Adam was a group of individuals. But when I say Adam, I'm saying Adapa. Islam. So now the Adapa race, which represents Adam, and it also represents Hawa. You call her Eve. Her name is Hawa. Okay? Now, Hawa was created by way for them to procreate. The Adapa to procreate, because originally the one that stood in the place was who you know as, what's her name? Lilith. which Lilith represents the serpent seed. And they tried to cross-pollinate, crossbreed the Adapa with the serpent seed by way of Lilith. That didn't work out too well. So now they had to create something unto the likeness of the Adapa, which was a female Adapa. All the Adapas were male. A lot of them were what you call when they castrate them. But the word a castrated male is just help, just a worker motherfucker. I forgot the name
Oh,
of him.
it's like three letters or something. Enid, a Enoch, a Unid. Eunuch. That's it.
Yeah, they're mostly eunuchs. So now what happens is the representation between the Adapa and Hawa, which is the female version of what Adama is, procreates with the serpent, but not at the command of Inlay and his sister Ea. But on their own, they're procreated because they had certain times where they procreated, have sex, or whatever the case was. They communicated through what was called a ankia. And the ankio, it was
I'm not sure if you're still there, but I can't hear you. Let me go check. Okay. We may have lost him. All right, let me see. Can I fix this? Okay, yeah, he did go out. Let's just give him a second to come back in. He did give us a preface. He did give us a prelude to this abrupt ending. But I did want to say this while we were waiting for him. Could somebody go and look up and to get the right answer, you got to ask the right question. So when you go and look at the word serpent, because Eve and the serpent had this conversation, this and that, yada yada yada. The Aramaic, because remember the Old Testament is Aramaic, or I don't want to say that. Old Testament is Hebrew, but Jesus and the gang, they were speaking Aramaic, not Hebrew. Anyway, so now if you go look at the word Eve, Google Eve means serpent in Aramaic. Copy whatever it is you find and come paste it here. Yeah, the family said you did a whole video on Lilith, Crumb. Yeah, I did a 3-hour video letting you know Lilith. I think it was Lilith, good girl gone bad. But yeah, Lilith is not a bad guy. Lilith is a part of the demiurge, and she's on the good side. Anyway, so yeah, go look up Eve. The word Eve is Aramaic for serpent. The word or the name Eve is Aramaic for serpent. In addition to that, when you, and here's another one. Go look up Inky. Go look up, is Inky a reptilian? Because of the Anunnaki, Inky was the good guy. It has been suggested that, let me just put this up here. It has been suggested that the Hebrew name Eve, and there's the Hebrew text, thank you, also bears a resemblance to an Aramaic word for snake. For snake. One reptilian, a full-blood reptilian, is talking to a half-breed reptilian about this whole reptilian book, because Jesus was a reptilian as well. But when we say reptilian, I need y'all to stop thinking bad and start thinking good. Somebody also mentioned the caduceus. The caduceus was a snake spiraling up a staff. The caduceus is a snake spiraling up the staff. Now we know that snake represents healing. The snake is not evil. The snake heals. So now let's go over Inky. Shout out to Conscious Connect, master student. Inky's mother was a serpent alien. Remember, the Minister of Information told you about the Sata Queens. This is Inky. This is the Anunnaki. When we tell you about Anu of the Anunnaki, Anu was an underling. Anu wasn't the end all be all. Anu was an underling. Alu. Wait. I think he's back.
Yeah, my
I
phone
think
got
he's
too
back.
hot. My bad. Phone got too hot. But anyway, you see how I was giving y'all that game, man, and they cut your boy off. They cut me off. But research everything I just said, man. Please research everything I just said. I hope you got a chance to take some good notes, bro. Just wanted to tap back in and say I appreciate it. According to patient, he could go ahead, bro.
So while you were off, I was just adding value to. I was trying to add value to everything you were saying. You brought up Inky and Enlil, and I showed the receipts where Inky is a reptilian. Now this is the thing about Inky that we were reading. Let me just find it because you were talking about the Sata Queens, and I was letting everybody know Anu, who is the biggest Anunnaki everybody talks about, is not above the Sata Queens. He's not. Inky's mother, who was a queen, was a serpent alien from a serpent race, which are known to be the highest of all aliens above the reptilians. The Sata Queens are a group of reptilians that brought you their underlings. The middle management was the Anunnaki. They weren't the greatest or the latest. So now the other part that the minister was saying was Eve, and I brought out that the word Eve means snake in Aramaic, but the minister also told you that her name wasn't even Eve. It was a word pronounced with an H. Forgive me, the pronunciations. Listen, my Aramaic is off. But we already showed you where Eve means snake. I'm sorry.
Who
We
are you
already
referring
showed
to?
Eve in the Bible.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Now, Bruce adds value with his research. According to another interpretation, he called her Hava, because serpent in Aramaic is Hevai or Heve or something like that. So, two different sources are confirming that Eve, who is reptilian-ish, is very much a serpent according to the words. Remember, God told you he was not the God of confusion, and then he did that thing with Nimrod and confused everybody. So we got to pay attention to the words. I yield.
Right. Real quick for my phone go out. Yes, what he just said, but it's Iowa because the V and the W are synonymous. Take the V's out and put a W right there. And understand from matrix. A W is is a double U, which is a V, a va, or a va. Now we're gonna go to Hebrew because we're in the Old Testament. When you hear a va or a wa sound, right? That's dealing with the 396. The 396, man. If I had more time, fam, I promise I'd teach you this stuff. But this can be found in what's called look up the word abjad and gematria or gematria. And the cipher, the keys are in the language, in the word. So it's definitely Hiowa. Okay? What he said, Eve, to have females also have a hive. Right. We can break that whole thing down through cosmology and everything. What Adam and Eve, or who they represented. But I'm giving you another version of it according to what is written by way of statisticians. The Anunnaki were middle, like he said, middle management. You had the Dukes, you had the Ankils. The Ankils were the bird-like creatures with the bird feet. People in Africa are like that right now because they are spliced with the Ankils. And they keep showing you this gorilla-looking humanoid as the first man or first woman called Lucy, and she looks like a chimpanzee, but she's not. That's what the Adapa look like.
Also, Minister, I wanted to bring up this. You talked about Zenthropus, but there's also one, the oldest bones found in East Asia. I'm sorry, excuse me, West. No, yeah, East Asia. Was the Pecan Man. Now, you've mentioned that several times, but I wanted to add value to that particular part. When you go and look at the Pecan Man, they found those bones at a place called Serpent Mound. Those bones were found at Serpent Mound. So if that has Damn, we lost them. Okay, so with that said, family, we've been on for more than an hour and a half, and we only got 24 likes. The family just hates to hit the like button, but they just want more. I don't know how that works. But yeah, with that said, family, hit the like button wherever you're at. And if you see this video somewhere else, go hit the like button there. Give us a 555 if you want more. If the minister and I should do more where we break down Eve, we break down aliens, we break down whatever the case may be, pop culture, you tap in 555 and maybe I can get the minister on again, maybe not, who knows. But with that said, family, I want to thank everybody for at least watching. You don't hit the like button, you don't do anything else, but hell, you could be watching the news, who knows. But with that said, I want to leave you the exact same way I came to you. I am your humble brother Crumb, here for another installation of Crumb TV, and also as well as the minister's program as well, the Minister of Information and his disciples. And we want to leave you the exact same way that we came to you. In peace, family. Peace.
Hey, you are now watching Crumb TV.
Crumb TV.
Hey, we in Chicago, y'all, and y'all watching Crumb TV.
It's your brother, Timbuktu. I say,
You are now watching Crumb TV.
you is Chi-Town finest. You Inglewood, always up to no good. Man, I'm telling my brother Crumb. You're watching Crumb TV. I'm your humble brother, and you are watching Crumb TV. Reporting live from the Wild Hunters, Southside Chicago.
And you now watching Crumb TV.
And you're watching Crumb TV. Crumb TV, baby. Hey.
Crumb TV.